Okay, hello and good day to everyone that is currently tuning in here at Phoenix Holdings. Once again, we have another exciting AMA, this time with a project called Allstars Digital. And from the Allstars team, we got a bunch of people, but we got mainly, as you can see from the presentation deck that they have, we got Yusef and Akash. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. We're doing great. Excited to be here.
And I have to say, this is definitely a project you shouldn't be missing if you've done your prior research based on the announcements over Phoenix Holdings. But I'll let the team themselves speak for themselves about their project. But before that, can you guys introduce yourselves to us? Give us some background about yourselves, or is it better to be done via the presentation?
No, I'll let Yusuf kick that off. He's first on the picture.
Yeah, thanks, Akash. Yeah, I can quickly introduce myself, and then Akash can do it, and maybe we'll play a quick and nice video. So I am Yusuf Mechahouri. I'm the CEO of Allstars Digital. My background has been traditional finance. I've been head of equity derivatives trading for tier one banks across Paris and London for more than 15 years. And then one day I was just tired of, traditional finance. I wanted something more fun, more exciting, more revolutionary. So I started trading crypto on my spare time. And by 2020, I completely quit the job and started my own crypto hedge fund. And a year after that, I met this amazing team of Allstar Digital, and we built this project with Akash, Dev, and Mark, which is basically a mix of everything that I love, which is crypto, finance, and sports. And that's exactly what Allstar Digital is about. And yeah, we'll explain to you guys, and I'm sure you're going to like it as well. Over to you, Akash.
Yeah, thank you, Yusuf, for that. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Akash Garu. I'm the Chief Product Officer for Allstars Digital. I've been on the project for nearly 2 years. This project's taken quite a lot of time and effort to get to this stage, and we're just super excited. We're going to tell you about our launch today, so I'm just holding myself back a little bit to get through this in a proper sequence. But quickly about me, I've spent more than 20 years in the financial services, mostly in London, but also part of that I spent in a project in New York as well. So what have I done in the past? I've done mostly tech-driven product development. So I've been a CTO for various companies, building out what is relatable retail-style trading platforms. Like Robinhood. I've done it mostly for the derivatives world. In companies like CMC Markets and FXCM, which got big global footprints. And then I moved my craft a little bit over to some other things in fintech, and then I ended up in a bank at one point, and it's something I realized it was not for me. And as a reaction to that, I bounced straight back out of that, and then ended up in a very innovative product, which mixed sports and trading for the first time. And I was in my element, and I loved building that product. It was for a company called Football Index, which pioneered having athletes treated as stocks on a synthetic stock market. So I loved the idea. The concept was groundbreaking. But the product wasn't built on the right things. The ingredients for the product was wrong, and that's the only thing that was grating me. During the pandemic, that business didn't really get through that intact. But by the time I'd sort of like packed up my bag and left, I was already speaking to Mark Aspinall, who's the other co-founder here, and he's talked me into joining up with the Allstars team, and actually then really build the correct financial services products that we're about to tell you all about today. And it's hugely exciting because I know that this is a sustainable, lasting product that people will find relevant and enjoyable, and it fits into regular trading activities and also Web3, and that's the exciting bit. But enough for me for now. I think the best way to describe our project and our product is to show you this excellent kind of product video that Dave and the team put together. So I'm going to click to the next page.
Of course. Yeah, please do. We're all excited to read. So,
okay. I've just got to learn how Windows works. Sorry. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
What makes an athlete truly exceptional? Power, skill, accuracy, vision. Today, we have insight on performance like never before. We can map out how our favourite sports stars are expected to play and measure how well they're doing over a game, a season, and even their entire career. Because sport today is driven by data. With Allstars Digital, you can capture that data, then trade your players and earn from their real-life performances. Watch your favourite tournaments, the biggest sports events around the world, and take up a position. All using the Allstars coin, a new digital currency that's enabling a sports staking revolution. Why limit yourself to binary choices, wins and losses, when we have all this insight? After all, sport is in the details, the key moments. Let's play the game like it's really played. With a single index price that goes up and down based on real-life performances recorded in thousands of match data points. When your players do well, so do you. Close your position when it suits you. And with all transactions visible on the blockchain, it's secure, quick, and simple. Allstars Digital gives this generation a new stake in the game. It's time to trade your passion. Join us today at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
So I hope you found that relevant. I'm coming back to take the mic again. Look, the couple of things I wanted to talk about there is like, we kind of look at, when we say trade your passion, we know that the biggest passionate community in the world is the sports fans out there. There's 3.5 billion of them who follow soccer or football, and 1.5 billion that follow cricket. And those are important because they're our two biggest elements of our products right now. But we are thinking about other sports, and we'll come to that in a second. So the reach for this is huge, and it's our job to go and get that reach as maximized as possible to share this revolutionary product that we've built. It's a little bit alluded to there from the commentary inside the video that we want to do away with the binary method of betting, and we want to shift that stake in the game to a holistic position in the game as if you were trading an asset. And I'm sure Yusuf can tell a lot more about how the pricing mechanism and the risk mechanism works for that. But that's essentially what we've done. We've spent 2 years taking a groundbreaking concept and actually making it, realizing that product. And now it's available to our community through an exchange. And that's we're in the last final throes of all the work that we've been doing as a team, and we're launching now. So the coin will be launching, as well as the NFT collection, as well as the application itself. CH, you want to take? Do you want to bring us back to any questions first?
I thought you were gonna. Yeah, of course. I thought you were gonna continue on with that. So basically, how we usually do the AMAs here is we finish with the presentation and all, but sure, I can jump in with some questions of myself.
Do you know what? I think the right thing to do right now, because everyone's fresh in their mind about what they just saw in the video. One of the questions that pops out of that naturally is like because the commentator in the video talked about a single index price that goes up and down based on real life performance, and I think we may.
That is actually something to be curious about. Yeah.
Exactly. I think the best thing to do is let Yusuf explain exactly how we've made that happen.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Akash. From a technical point of view, it might seem simple, but actually it's a bit more complex than that, because what we do is we work with established sports data provider in the likes of Opta and Sportradar. And these guys, they have people almost in every stadium watching live games, but they also use TV feed, satellite feed, and AI to check what's happening on the pitch. And basically what they do, they provide us every single information that they gather from the pitch. They send it to us. So as soon as Messi scores, we get the information. If he scores with his right foot, left foot, header, from the box, outside the box, who did the assists, how many passes he made, every single data that you can think of on for a football game, we collect it, and then we process it through our index engine. And what does that mean? It means that, for example, if Benzema, who's the just won an award recently, if he scores a goal, his price will go up 3% in our index. If he misses a pass, his price will go down 0.5%. So every single event that he does on the game is basically we give it a value for his index, and it's common sense. He does something good, price goes up. He does something bad, price goes down. And we do that for almost 4,000 players because we cover the 5 European league. We cover French league, German league, Italian league, Spanish league, and English league. So the 5 leagues we cover. So every weekend we have 4,000 players, which are actually 4,000 assets, and you can invest in them like you invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tesla stock or Facebook stock.
Okay, investing in players though. I'm kind of wondering how it will work. So is it the same as? I'm definitely sure that it's not going to be the same as buying stocks or cryptocurrency on how you're going to buy and sell and trade them. So how does it work in terms of like liquidating or trading the value of what you're going to invest in, which are the players in this case?
Yes.
So between the four of them.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Akash.
I'm just saying, between the four of the founding guys here, myself, Yusuf, Dev Duta, who's the actual founder, we'll talk a bit more about Dev in a minute, and Mark, we all come from financial services backgrounds that have been involved in assets of many various kinds, whether it's equities, futures, options, derivatives, FX, indices, all of it. And we understand the fabric of what makes that work. And that's the essence of the product. So this is an absolutely side-by-side comparable tradable asset class that actually the proof of the pudding is in our application. You can trade Messi, and right next to that in your portfolio, you'll have a BTC USD deal, as well as you could have quite easily a Tesla or an Apple stock right next to it, because the trading element of it is an asset class. So therefore, you wrap that around other elements of a tradable asset class, and so therefore it has pricing and has depth of market. It also has the ability to have orders, so limit orders and market orders, as well as set risk limits around your trading strategy or appetite, and take profits, as well as stop limits as well. So it doesn't change, the behavior doesn't change from whether you're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., over to Ronaldo, Messi, Benzema. It's the same. So that is the essence of the product that we built.
That is an interesting transition and combination of things, especially since a lot of your target audience is going to be in the crypto space. They're going to be able to relate how they trade their assets in terms of your kinds of assets, which are the athletes themselves as an asset. But I think we can dive more into how it works, because I'm sure we have a lot of questions, especially for the listeners. So
on that, CH, more interestingly, right? You would probably do a ton of research, which you'd have to work on if you were going to take up a position in, say, I don't know, Google, right, or Facebook. You do a bit of research, right? But when you're a sports fan, you're doing the research all the time. There's no sweat on you. You've got a position in your mind as to where you want to put it, and we've just enabled you to do that. So, just moving along and just taking the course of the presentation with us. This slide, maybe it's in the wrong place, but what this is just a quick reminder of like how fast and far we're going. So we kind of really, lots of work was going on technically in the background, building a product, building our company, getting our operations all sorted out. And then we were going into a phase of launching Allstars Digital. And so we kind of got to September and said, right, let's hit the button on marketing and let people know about this. This is why, the roadshow is all important. That's why we're here. But we've had a blast. We've suddenly grown our community to, which is edging towards 100,000 in the community now. And we've done that in very short order. And it's because of the product. It's because of it's got a real connection with people. And we're blasting through that, and we're going to head towards our TGE. So we're going to cover that in this presentation about where that is in the roadmap exactly. And then we've got the FIFA World Cup, which is the North Star for us, and it has been all year. And we know we've got to be ready for that day. And Fever Pitch will grow. And so we know, get our coin out, get our platform out, get people trading, get a community going is all part of what we're trying to do. And this slide, it kind of literally just tells you where our story is going. Now, where it goes after that is obviously on this chart as well, but that's what we're going to do in the years to come. So we just need to make sure that you all know what our ambition is. And so you can actually follow us, build, and what we want us to be in your portfolio, because we think that we've really got it now. So that's why we're here. But back to ground, and let's talk about the real dates. So initially, our plan. So let's just talk about October, right? So we announced the early part of October our partnership with Aurora DAO. There's a really good synergy between us and Aurora. Aurora is a project sitting on the Near Foundation. We're not exclusive to them. We are an ERC20 token, but there's a lot of synergy work together that we're going to do, because there's an opportunity here for Allstars to have its own chain. And I don't want to say too much about that right now. One, I need a technical bodyguard to talk about that. But two, that's stuff in the works, and that comes out. The real deliverable comes out in the years to come. We're going to make an exchange announcement. I'm just slightly frustrated that we just weren't able. No, we're not. Are we, Dave? We're out on public on this, aren't we? We are. Right, I'm going to tell you guys.
Yeah, we're out. We're out today. Out today. Yep.
We're out today, guys. So you hear it first, right? We are launching our coin. I'll tell you the date in a minute. We're launching on Bitmart. So hopefully you've got your accounts on Bitmart. If you haven't, we'll help you get an account. We'll sort you out. But Bitmart there's a lot of good reasons for why we're choosing Bitmart first. I'm sure that question will come up, and I'll leave that to Yusuf there, because he's got a very good idea of where our strategy goes in terms of growth. And our CERTIC audit is one task away from being complete. And I just wanted to let you know that we've already minted, or in the process of minting, like as we speak, 900 million tokens Allstars coin at this moment as part of the CERTIC audit, because we're just making sure that they understand that under the ownership of the multi-sig wallet that we've implemented, it's absolutely bulletproof secure. And that helps us all sleep at night when we launch this product. November, first week of November, be ready. The 2nd of November, 1500 UTC, we are listing. So be there. I mean, that's the cheapest price you'll ever have for Allstars coin on that moment. Then
I think that's the first time you've said that date in public, isn't it, Akash? I think that's the first time you've said that date in public.
Then you know what? But we're talking to an educated people base here, right? So they'll find out anyway. I've just told them we've minted the coin. They'll work that out, right? So let's just
exactly
just go with it, right?
That's why we're here.
The special series NFTs, we're going to talk about those in a minute. They're really special, and they're going to be just crack. The minute we launch those, they are a bridge between launching the coin and launching the platform, and they're all about our positioning in the market around a sports platform that goes live before FIFA. We'll talk about those in a minute. And then the exchange launch. What is the exchange? For us, just like any other crypto exchange, ours is a platform. You can get it on a desktop. You can get it on your app, on your app on your phone. We've built building trading platforms all our lives. We've built one that you would absolutely love. It's got a really slick user experience. It guides you through the trading experience, and it gets you into the market. We made sure that we're going to handle wallets and cards and all of that in the smoothest way possible. So we're just bringing all of our experience together to get you that app. We've got a vision in our mind about the ultimate app, but because the way things are, you have to get the app that you can get out the door for that day, because we're not missing that World Cup. So there will be a version 1. So hopefully I'll be able to show you that in a very near future. And then the FIFA World Cup begins, and then there's no going back for us. The genie is out of the lamp for us. And then in 2023, just as we want to go and take a break, we're not, right? Cricket World Cup turns up in Q1. basketball launches. We're going to get, you know, a team around basketball. We've got the computer, we've got the data scientists. We just have the sports analyst and the data scientists working together. We'll come up with the tradable asset class for that. It'll be super exciting. 5 players from each side pricing continuously at a very explosive sport. We know that has got a huge following around the world. That esports, great thing about esports is there isn't a translation between someone doing something on a pitch and the data being collected. The data is already in the game. So there's going to be like low latency data transmission there. And there's, it's another one of those really, really fast and fascinating growing spaces. And we'll cover it. And then we'll let the DAO decide. So we're going to build a DAO around this, right? So there's going to be a DAO that's going to be important for voting on the platform. There's going to be a DAO built around the NFTs and the voting for the icon development. And we are going to have a fantasy game as well, because this product lends itself to fantasy. Why do you trade individual players where you can pick a selection of them and put them all in the team and play your team against somebody else's? And that's how fantasy works out. And cricket, you know, is going to be one of those. Cricket is primed for this, because in the Indian market, the fantasy is actually one of the greatest pastimes. I'm going to stop for a minute and hand over to Youssef, because he may want to pick up on a few things on this slide.
Did you say Youssef or me? You?
No, well, anyone, like, you know, otherwise there's no break. There's no break in me speaking. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, if I can jump in a quick question, when you say trading, is it like trading the asset or the cryptocurrency, or the NFT?
Yeah. So
when
I was saying trading, I meant the asset that we built. So the football asset. So, you know, a footballer as a stock. That's what I meant by trading.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because you've already. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Carry on. I'm sorry for cutting.
No, sorry. But the NFTs, I guess you could confuse that for trading as well. This is not an NFT play. We are a tradable asset, but we also have NFTs let's make that distinction. It's good to make that distinction rather than confuse people about what our product is. Our product's not based around an NFT per player, but we have got a series of NFTs as well. And there are special series NFTs because we're launching and we want to put something special out there to mark the occasion.
You have a lot of layers to this project, because not only you have a native token, right? That's going to be launching at an exchange, Bitmart. You also have an NFT series, but I think the third dimension to this is having an actual asset in the form of players or athletes. So yeah, this is actually something new for me as well. That's why I'm trying to wrap my head around it and how the entire project works. So yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'll tell you what. Then let's let imagination run wild for a moment. Okay. And this is what we did, and we had a huge amount of fun doing it. So we know that the greatest players in the world don't all play in the same team, because that would be ridiculous, right? And you might say that they do if you're a fan of Argentina, for instance, right? But that's not true, right? The best players in the world all play for different teams and play on different positions. But when you think about fantasy and you let your imagination run wild, you can pick your players that you want to see in one team. And actually, some players with similar characteristics, if you put them all in one team, you could give that team its special characteristic. I'll give you an example. Everyone knows Paul Pogba, and we would say, you know what, that guy's a bit of a showman. And then you could say Messi, well, he's the greatest of all time, so you know that's how I see him. But if you took that thought a little bit further, and you put your 5-a-side teams together, your fantasy teams, let's take a forward, a midfielder, a defender, and a goalkeeper and a wild card, and put those together, and you say, like, going to capture the characteristic out of them. Well, what we did that. And then we created the characters that represent a little bit about them. And we got a character called the Showman, we got a character called the Beast, we got a character called the Assassin, and we got a character called the Dog. We got these characters, and we've got 11 of them, and they all form a team in their own right. Now, then we went to a games digital design house called Kangaroo Games, who do the work for creating characters within Fortnite and Lucasfilms. And they love the idea, and they've been working with us to build out these characters. And this is phase one, because ultimately these characters have become real and actually within a game. but we're not going there yet. We're just now stopping to celebrate that those characters are part of All-Stars Digital ambassador brand. These people represent, these made-up characters represent something about us. Now, there's a bit more utility here, right? Because if you were to buy one of 500 Showman NFTs, well, behind the scenes is an index that's running on 5 players. And that is made up of a percentage of Pogba and a percentage of Neymar Jr. and all the other players that we are pricing on our platform. So you own the Showman, you own one share in that fund, which is going up and down depending on their performance. So at the end of the year, the end of the season, if that fund ends in the profit, well, guess what? The profit gets shared by all the people who hold the NFT on that day. So what's going to happen between now and that day? Well, we're hoping that people enjoy holding these NFTs, but if they really want and they know they're gaining value because of the underlying expectation on profit share, well, then they can sell them and trade them. And if you think you're not going so well, trade out, go and get another one. So these trade cards become collectible, become enjoyable, and as well, they've got another interest going on as well. And they also unlock elements in our trading platform. So I think you talk about multiple dimensions. I don't think we could have stuffed another dimension into these NFTs. But what's really important is that all the characters that these NFTs represent will all be playing out in the World Cup on the world stage as well. So the time to get one will be in the next couple of weeks because they'll be gone.
Definitely maximize on how much you can utilize the NFTs can be used. I mean, this is definitely a good way of like making it to be actively traded because it has some life-changing stats based on what you've shown me. So yeah, it's gonna be the volume will be insane.
Our developers are confident that these numbers here, when you say Pogba 40%, if the DAO chooses to change it to 35 and they go through the vote mechanism, well, they're confident that the NFT can reflect that. So it'll be live in terms of the performance percentage as well. So some things that we haven't seen done much as well. Now, I'm going to keep rolling, and I'm going to now show you our video on utility. So there's going to be, hopefully this answers a lot of questions that you're probably jotting down now. It's like, what do I get for having the coin? So there's a lot going on here. So let's just try and get it out in one shot.
You know, despite what some people might say, sport isn't just about winning. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself. A movement. Which is why Allstars Digital, the world's first sports performance trading exchange, is part of a bigger ecosystem. Fantasy gaming, NFT collections, a metaverse sports exchange, and DApp games. A world of opportunities to watch, trade, and earn. And it's all enabled by a single currency, the Allstars coin, one that offers more utility. With Allstars coin, you can get VIP discounts on trading commissions, as well as the ability to stake and earn. In Allstars Play, it can get you free access into Allstars fantasy sports contests and entry into exclusive mega coin contests. As the transactions and revenue increase, Allstar Digital will buy back Allstar coin from the market to support and grow its value. And by holding Allstars coin, you can also earn from special series NFTs and be a voice in the DAO, voting for NFT icon development as well as DeFi player listings. Going into Web3 and the metaverse, the sporting possibilities for Allstars coin are endless. And they can all be right there now in your wallet. So, do you feel like being part of something bigger? Allstars coin is launching soon. Find out more and get early access at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
Okay, thank you, Lounge. I think what we should do next is CH. What do you want to do there? I think we probably need a question so we can move it forward.
I think we can move forward because I'm already seeing some raised hands over the community questions, but we can wait until the end of the presentation so we can just get all the questions from the community in one go. If that works for you guys.
Fine. Yeah, fine. Look, let's just quickly talk about loyalty. Okay. So we're breeding a large ecosystem with a fan base. People will come, they will buy the Allstars coin, they will come on the platform, trade, make friends, tweet about their trades, all sorts of things, right? Stay passionately interested in the platform. So we want to reward that loyalty. So on one hand, we will create a staking program, and we will buy back from buybacks to Allstars coin and put it in a staking pool, and that staking pool gets distributed to our community. Our community needs to qualify for a loyalty tier. So the qualifiers are written here. If you have to hold Allstars coin for a certain level for so many days. But the other way of skipping the queue, as it were, is if you were to own a platinum or a gold or a bronze version of the NFT, you skip the queue. So it seems like on the end here, I'm talking about like having a minimum of $10,000 in Allstars coin for 365 days. Well, it seems like no one's going to be there for 365. Yeah, the 11 people will be there immediately, right? And so there are other ways of qualifying in. And so all of that will be like listed out clearly in the white paper. It's all in the white paper. So please have a look at that. What we want to do is make sure that this, when we talk about sustainability, yeah, it does sound all very complicated. Our job is to simplify as much of it as we can. But the truth is that to make it like a proper ecosystem, it has to have loads of elements to enjoy, so lots of angles that works for everybody. And so, so we're ready for scale, right? So we talked about 3.5 billion soccer fans out there, right? So some of them will come, but the way that we've set out our ecosystem, it gives something to everyone back. And the loyalty scheme is just one way of representing, what we will do for those loyal incumbents who come to us and trade. So more details on this in the white paper and our pitch deck. And then I need to get onto the question. So the last thing I want to say is we're launching November the 2nd. Okay, you guys heard it first. We're not that far away from declaring it publicly anyhow. So, get yourself all ready. We will be putting out information on how to buy the coin on Bitmart on the day of launch. This is our rocket for our campaign. It's standing on the launch pad. It will soon be smoking. It will soon be rising, and it will soon be gone. So stay with us. And to celebrate a bit more, the World Cup is coming, and we've got tickets. Why wouldn't we have tickets? So for one lucky winner, 2 tickets are going to be up for grabs, and we'll be closing that competition on the 24th of November. But to get into this competition, you have to sign up to our platform. And so early sign up is available, and we'll be pushing this very shortly. So now's the time to get in. With that, CH, you needed me to get through the presentation. It's done now.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. It's definitely something new that we've encountered here and the several projects that we've had here in our community. As much as I wanted to ask my own questions, I also wanted to give way for the questions from the community. So are you guys okay if I ask some community members to ask their questions?
Please go ahead.
Of course.
Okay, for the first question, we got Lask and Pachi. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question.
Thank you, CH. Hi there, Dave. I was having a question with you, I guess, in the chat as well. I'm getting an echo somewhere. All right. I assume that from my understanding of football is a very little, but of how the things work in cricket, I have a bit of understanding coming from India. So the things that are operating right now in the dream and everything are like that. They sort of are associated with the legitimate agencies in India or international as well, ICC, BCCI and everything. Hence, they don't have to amend to most of the laws. They are working the sidelines. Since you are trying to operate on a larger scale as well, so how do you want to do it? Because if there is, since all players come under ICC, so they can be used, their data can be used as they wish you to be. But since it is not, I don't see any partnership with such agencies yet for Allstar. How do you want to go around that? Thank you.
So if you don't mind, I'll pick that up because, one of my jobs is also to build our fantasy product. And so we talked about that, but we don't really want to confuse anyone. So we don't bring it to the front on these presentations. We mostly talk about digital. But we do have a fantasy product, and it will be part of this family. And let me quickly explain how it works. So we do understand, the way we've understood the fantasy product world, and Dream 11's at the top there. So you know we recognise who's winning that play. Bringing together your own 11-side team, sharing that with your friends, and playing against them either head to head or playing in championship contest pools is kind of like the traditional method of doing this. And usually for those games, the points totals are added up after the match event. So the match event maybe it's a one-day series, or it could be a test or whatever. But the point adding up the scores of the player's performance happens at the end. So that's where the huge difference is with ours. Our performance metrics are happening in real time. So what that does mean is that during a 3-hour game or one day or whatever, 2020, the players, sorry, the users who are interacting with Fantasy have got a chance to change the composition of their team, either by changing the weightings or having one swap out. Which means, what does that mean? If you're not winning at the beginning of the contest, you could be at the end because you made smarter decisions about changing your weighting. Now that is a brand new dimension to Fantasy, and nobody else can really do it because nobody else prices players the way we do in real time. So that's number one. That's why we would do it. I think the real question is like, why haven't you got partnerships, or what's the plan on partnerships? Now we have to come back to the fundamentals of our data. The fundamentals of our data is data that's collected and gets in the public domain. So if somebody scores or somebody hits a 6 or they get run out, that information is not private to anyone, not even the ICC. That event happened and someone knows about it. And that's what the big sports data harvesters do. They gather that information, whether they're watching on the TV or watching it in the stadium, and they post it as fast as they can, and we collect it, and we turn that into index value. And that's what we'll continue doing. So we actually don't really necessarily need a partnership in order to be able to have a product. But that being said, we know that if we do all the right things, stay on the right side of everyone, don't infringe on image rights or copyright or anything like that, which is our full intention not to, then eventually we'll have a clean slate, and those partnerships, agreements and sponsorships will all come. And that's our plan. So right now we've just got humble beginnings and we're moving forward, but there's a very, very good chance that we'll be ending up with those kind of agreements.
And if I may add, Akash, just on that front, there are much bigger industries out there that are using the same logic, which is the betting industry and the newspaper industry. Because every Monday morning when you go and read about the football game that happened during the weekend, people use Ronaldo, Benzema, Messi's name to say what they did. Same for betting. When you go on a betting platform, let's say Bet365, and you want to do something on Man U playing against Man City, you're going to see Haaland to score 2-1, Ronaldo to score 7-1. So they are using their name. They are using data as well in front of their name. And that's okay because, as Akash said, this is public information and nothing private and nothing related to copyright.
So I think Akash did a great job educating me in that. Yeah, I don't think you want to associate yourself with those lowly channels and everything, but I understand it better. Thank you so much. Thank you, EHS.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for a wonderful question. And Pachi, now we can go on to the next question. And let me just, the guy disappeared. Okay, let's go with Terminator. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question, Terminator. Okay, Terminator, can you hear us? You need to unmute yourself to speak. Otherwise, we need to choose another person.
Oh dear, he's got terminated.
Yeah, Terminator just got terminated. Okay, unfortunately, Terminator, give me a chance. Let's choose another person. Oh, what was his name? There's a lot of raised hands. It just keeps scrolling upwards my screen, so people have been changing and changing. Okay, I think let's choose The Voice. Hopefully you'll be able to speak this time. The Voice, please ask your question, sir. The Voice. You need to unmute yourself to speak. I'm not sure why people have been having some trouble with unmuting themselves. Okay, I see you unmuting yourself. Hello, The Voice.
Thanks to each for the opportunity. So
Okay, your question?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, the voice, I think
Okay, so
we can hear you.
question. I was
So
reading
yeah,
through
just
the
ask your
website.
question.
I see. Okay, so my question. I was reading through the website and I saw you guys are focusing only on football and cricket right now. So what plans do you have for other sports? And for the cricket part, I didn't see much. You guys didn't talk about the cricket part much on the website.
I can take that one, Akash, if you want. Thanks, the voice, for the question. Very good question. So the reason we went first with football, because that's the most followed and popular sports out there, with 3.5 billion of football fans, and also because we have the FIFA World Cup coming in a month's time. So that's why we are all over football. But we also do crypto, and the reason why we are not at the moment communicating a lot about it is because we're waiting for the start of the season with the IPL. They will be in Q2 next year. And that's where basically we will also start to communicate a lot about cricket. And then we have a plan to start covering NBA by next year as well, and then esports. And then the fifth sport that we want to cover, we will leave it to our community to decide. Using our token, people will have like a voting power, and they can decide which sport they want to see next. Is it going to be rugby? Is it going to be NHL, NFL, MLS? It's up to the community to decide that.
All right. Thanks for the answer. Thank you, CH, for this opportunity.
Of course, and we're going on to the main chat questions that I've seen. Okay, this one is from Dr. Mikey. Let's put for an example a player that is playing and it does really well, so his price goes up. For example, $50, and then just in case he gets injured and he is offered the season, and his value goes down to $10, then he decides to retire. What will happen to that? To the asset, the value of the asset of that player?
Sure, that's a good question, and maybe let me give a bit more clarity. So, our players, the assets will only move based on the performance. If the player is injured, or is basically for a game, or even for the whole season, the price will not move because the player is not playing. So there is no data to collect, and there is no performance related to that game or to that season. So, for example, if a player plays well a game, he scores a hat-trick, 3 goals, okay? He goes up 15%. And then he goes injured for the rest of the season. Well, his price will go up 15% and stay there for the rest of the season. And, that's what happened for the Liverpool defender, Van Dijk, for the 2021 season. He was injured, so his price didn't move. And actually, you can see here, you're showing Messi, and you can see there is a stable price for Messi. It was his start of PSG, where he was not playing a lot because most of the time he was injured. So you can see the price is steady. And the important thing here is that a player's performance will only be impacted with what happened on the pitch. Okay, if he's not playing, nothing will happen to your investment. Meaning that you can stay invested for the whole season if you want to. You can invest for a game, for a week, for a month, or for a whole career. And your asset will only move based on what happened on the pitch. There is no speculation around it.
Okay, so it kind of works like...
Yeah?
It's like a stable coin then, as long as a player is injured, if I'm going to say.
Yeah, quite. It's a stable country's performance. So if he's not performing because he's not playing, then price doesn't move. What we want to do is to avoid it, because as Akash said, I've been in the financial industry for 15 years. And believe it or not, I know more about Lionel Messi than I know about Tesla stock or about Eurodollar, even though that was my job for the past 15 years. And actually, all my colleagues, on Monday morning when we arrive to the office and have coffee in the office, people talk more about the Champions League or the Premier League than what the Fed did with the last decision. So people have this knowledge within them about how to trade sports player if they could trade. The problem is the only way to trade right now sports is through betting. And betting is not very straightforward because it's a binary. And if you don't call the exact event, you lose all your stake. Let's say you say Messi is going to score a goal, but actually he scored 2 goals. So you got it wrong, right? And you lose everything. While with our platform, you can just think about, okay, I think Messi is going to have a good game. You don't need to call if he's going to score a goal, make 10 assists, or, I don't know, score a penalty. You just need to think that he's currently in a very good shape and he's going to do well. You put $10. At the end of the day, if he plays very well, you might take 10% out of that. And if he doesn't play well, you might lose 10%, but you still have $9 to reinvest the next day or the next game.
So,
okay, that really...
this is just to talk about Messi then for a second. He's in that white paper because on the 16th of September 2019, he started on our platform at $10. He's now on this picture trading at $66, so 6x. Okay, that's not. I mean, if you had Messi in your portfolio, you'd be very happy. He'd be outperforming your other stocks, and that's not because it's a fluke. Messi's absolutely a machine, and we've looked at the data and we've had to ask ourselves, does our machine calculate this properly? And we looked at every single game he played, and actually the truth is, yes, he is actually that outstanding. And there's only a handful of players that have got into the $60, and they are legends. So, and this is just a litmus test of whether the machine works for us, the index calculator. It does. It lines up with the data. So it might not be intuitive for some people, but it lines up with the data for sure. Should we go for another question?
Just another question. So same goes if the player retires, so it will just stay the same for the rest, or will he somehow be removed from the database?
Well, it's the same logic. If he retires, we can remove him from the database because there is no chance that he's gonna play again. So what we'll do is we're gonna retire the player from the database, and we're gonna settle every open position on the last price. But if there is a chance, for example, I think it was Ibrahimovic, he moved from PSG to LA and then back to Milan. We're not going to remove him from the database because there is a chance he can come back. So unless a player decides to retire for good, otherwise you can keep your position open if you want to.
Okay, that's good to know, because a part of me is worried that just in case of the player suddenly retires, maybe out of injury or just sudden decisions, that the investment will just have no value anymore. So I'm glad that you're sticking to the last price possible if the player somehow stops performing by any means. So yeah, that's a safety assurance.
That's the fairest way out of that dilemma, because stocks go to zero. And if you're short a stock, it can go to $1 million and you're seriously out of pocket. So you know what I mean? So you're in bigger risk there in that zone.
Definitely.
Whereas ours stops. Ours just stops pricing because it's the fairest way to deal with it. And everyone's okay that way. Look, the percentages are that we've not mentioned this at all. We have already launched. This is not a project that's going to go live. This is a project that has been live. So we launched in December 2021 on our MVP platform called Allstars Trader. It's a sort of sub-brand. And we launched it in Africa. And Davis Balboa, who's on this call as well, he's the country manager out there. And so he's been, he's been a pioneer in putting this product in people's laps. And the take-up in Africa, in Lagos in particular, was phenomenal, right? So we were selling this stuff, growing our business 400% month on month, taking receipts, letting people trade, getting their feedback. Sometimes it didn't go right. We had bugs or whatever, and we fixed them all, right? And now we've got a loyal fan base. We've got people talking about the game and trading it. So we've taken all those learnings and we're now taking this to the next level with our Web3 product. And that's what's really fundamentally happening. But the underlying mechanism, the pricing, the risk management, the tooling is all being translated over. So we're not losing any lessons there. We're translating them over and making it ready now for a large audience going mega now on a worldwide scale through a Web3 product.
That's actually great that you've already launched majority of how the platform works, because that means that you've crossed out some of the bugs that could happen. I mean, of course, there's going to be more bugs once you've launched it in Web3, but yeah, perhaps majority of it were taken care of when you launched like last year, I think December, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so this is
this
is the platform for Africa, right? So we've got, we've done nearly $700 million worth of trades now. So the trade volume has gone up. And, we allow you to trade not only sports in the same platform, but we also allow you to trade the usual currencies, indices, commodities, the stuff that people want to trade when they're not trading sports. And they all look the same, and they fit in the same portfolio.
Well, it's good to have a working product out of you guys already, so that definitely will make the potential investors be more confident in terms of investing for this one. So I think we have time for like one last question, and I'll choose one. This is PH Wendat. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question. Wendat, PH.
Yeah.
You can ask your question. I unmuted you.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Sorry, network is really bad over here. So my question is, as we get to end in through your projects, do we get to withdraw immediately, or we have to wait for a specific period of time before we withdraw?
I'm going to leave that to you.
Yeah, immediately. It is an exchange. So the same way you go to Binance or you go to the NASDAQ, and you trade, you are able to trade immediately. You're able to withdraw immediately based on your portfolio performance.
Okay. For the people who use your website like on a regular basis, will there be any maybe sort of daily reward to them, to encourage them to keep on using and coming to your website every day? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, Akash, you want to answer that one?
So if people come to our website, will there be a daily reward? Not the website. So I think what I needed to make clear about the loyalty scheme is, it is if you become a trader on our platform, that through your trading and through your staking, that you will grow in loyalty scheme. Now, the staking scheme, I have to be clear on this. We have developed it, we've sort of designed it, we've got the requirements and the framework of it right. It probably won't be within our platform on the launch, but the staking elements will be coming out on a date, TBD. We've got a good idea of the date. We just don't want to jinx it and say it right now, but it'll be sometime later than the World Cup. But the staking element will come in. Now, it's through staking and trading you earn loyalty points. I think you meant that when you said the website. I think you meant the trading platform. I'm assuming, and so there is rewards for trading on our platform.
All right, thanks. I really love this one. Anything relating to football, I give it my best shot. I would like to trade on your trading platform. Thanks for the opportunity.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and quick question. What is the network that you're going to be running in for the native token? I think I'm not sure if it was covered earlier.
ERC20.
Oh, okay, so it's going to run on the Ethereum network. Okay. And considering that it's going to be running on an exchange from the get-go, do you plan to extend to more exchanges, or do you just plan to stay on like Bitmart for the majority of the project run?
So the plan is to start with Bitmart, and then as we go along and our community grows, to increase and just slowly go through those tier 1 exchanges. So we're already in talks with many of them. They all like our product because it's innovative, and actually we are a real product compared to a lot of projects out there which are still at the ID stage. We have like an MVP. We are launching our mass market product in a few weeks. So yeah, hopefully during the World Cup and after the World Cup, we'll have more exchanges to announce.
Of course. I think that's a smart way to approach it, because it doesn't matter how many exchanges you got listed on, but I think the main exchanges that you should be looking at are the tier 1 exchanges. If you're just going to like multiple lower tier exchanges, it wouldn't make much of an impact. So I'm glad that you're focusing on the bigger picture, like focusing on quality more than quantity in terms of which exchanges you're going to expose yourselves to.
Well, look, we're blessed in that we're having conversations with Huobi, OKX. We've had conversations with Binance, all of them. We're having good conversations. But do you know what the route to market is for us to go on, a modest platform, get the coin out there, focus on our product and platform, and then we can continue those conversations with the big exchanges.
I like
and also
the patience. Yeah.
The thing out there is that we're so confident with our product that we don't need to do anything kind of like too fast, too soon. It's about growth. And being in the right place at the right time. So, look, we are very aware that the kind of market conditions are not perfect for a crypto project. But do you know what? Our project doesn't suffer that way. We're not pure. We are crypto and we are Web3, and that's really our mainstay. But the product actually links together with the real world and what's happening. And people are going to go and celebrate the World Cup no matter what. Doesn't matter what the rate of inflation is. It's going to happen. And so we're delivering that to everyone, and therefore we have to go. And so when the sunny weather comes on the crypto, in the crypto sector, then the sun will come our way as well. So it's one of those projects that is going to break. It's kind of like it's being counterintuitive to everything else that's happening.
Definitely. I think the real world utility, in a way, that real life happenings and events such as sporting events is actually involved in this, will definitely make this more than just the crypto space in general. So yeah, it doesn't matter how the market condition goes, as you mentioned, as long as the World Cup or any sporting events that you're going to be including or involving in your project, it will definitely always perform well. So that being said, I think we covered what we can cover in terms of the questions from the community, and unfortunately we've kind of run out of time. So I guess to wrap up this project, you can give up a short summary on what Allstars is all about and why people should be investing in it now or the near future.
Yeah, I'll go first and let Yusuf finish. For all the reasons that we've mentioned, okay, it's fresh, it's innovative, it kind of tackles the past because it's not a traditional betting platform, and we don't want to be. It's looking forward to the future because it's kind of like this is the only transition into Web3 for sports staking, the way I can see it. Any other model has an operator that kind of needs a fixed odds product on the other side. This is about trading. It's like a trading exchange. So you've got community trading it, and some of them are trading on one side and the other, and that happens now in digital assets. So it speaks their language, it gives them something else. This is relevant, and this is the start of something that could be extremely big. And so now is the time to get involved and be part of the community and help us shape this product.
So, Cash, and if I may add, this is really unique compared to what I've seen as well so far on the crypto space for two reasons. The first one is usually you see a token, then a product, and we've done the opposite. We have a product that is up and running, and we're going to bring a token alive. And the second thing is we have some very, very cool and smart mechanism within our platform to basically sustain our token price. Because, why is the dollar so strong? Because every single commodity out there is labeled into dollars. And same thing we do with the sports player. We label them into our token, our coin, ASX, meaning that every time someone will trade our token, behind the scene, they will need to convert whatever currency they bring, USD, BTC, USDT, into ASX. Therefore, bringing a continuous buying pressure to our token. And this is a very cool and unique mechanism on our platform for our token holders. So on top of the staking, there will be like a very good buying pressure throughout the year.
I'm glad that you've covered like multiple aspects on how the project is run. You got professional experience from the actual sporting.
Allstars.
Oh, sorry, was anyone speaking earlier?
Sorry, CH. Can I just also? Just
of course, Dave. Of course, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Really kind of you. Look, I just wanted to make it kind of clear to everybody listening. This is such a valuable group, and the chat going on is really good. But we've effectively got two things going on here. So we've got our sports trading platform launching in time for the World Cup. That's where you trade that player performance. But remember, before that, we are launching the Allstars coin, ASX, and that's the coin which will power that exchange. So this is the kind of big opportunity for you guys, the crypto community, the guys who have got their eye on a nice piece of a crypto offering. And that, as Akash said earlier, is coming November the 2nd, all right? Wednesday, November the 2nd. And we've got a really exciting run in now. So we're in kind of big launch phase. We've got AMAs happening pretty much every day through to that launch. We've got Nordic Wales tomorrow, Aurora coming up next week, Future Lounge, Coin Launch Lounge. We've got Caesar's Call in there. And we've got really, really big promotional campaigns going off too with some of the biggest marketing services in global DeFi. We've also got PR, lots of partnership deals to announce in the next few days. And we've got that PR hitting some of the most influential finance publications in the world. Kind of today, actually, you'll see us start to circulate stories going out in some of the biggest publications in the world. So it's a really exciting moment. And all I'm going to say to you is you have got to join us over on our Telegram group, Allstars Digital Community, because that's where you're going to get all the news and all the secret stuff, all the things which are most important to you guys who are the most important people to us, the people who will invest in the coin specifically.
Okay, it's amazing to hear your voice over the latter part of the AMA. I've seen you answering some questions as well over the main chat. So, yeah, I think we've covered a lot of questions as well. But as Dave mentioned, I'm sure you have a lot of questions within this project because this is a multi-layered, multi-dimensional project. So I encourage you to please join them on the Telegram group. And I'm sure that Dave, Yusuf, and the rest of their team will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. That being said, again, thank you so much for choosing Phoenix Holdings to share your project with us. And yeah, I wish you the best in your project. And also for the listeners here, thank you for listening. And we're hoping to see you again on the next AMA. Thank you, guys, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, CH. Thank you, everyone. Good luck. Bye-bye. Buy the coin. Bye-bye.
Yes, buy the coin, guys, if you're interested. And yeah. Okay, see you around, guys.
Take care.
Take care, guys.